So let me get this right, Josh. He was out on bond for the aggravated robbery. He was out on bond on the other case, on the retaliation, and then he picked up these two new cases, right? Is that right?
Wait, did you catch that? He was out on bond for aggravated robbery, out on bond for retaliation, and still picking up new cases. At this point, it feels less like freedom and more like a revolving door at the courthouse. But here's the legal kicker: every time a defendant is out on bond and reoffends, the judge sees him as a bigger risk to public safety. That's strike 3, and judges do not like swinging strikes.
Let me check that.
I think he was out on bond for the ag rob, and then
Oh, the
Picked up.
ag robs from May.
yes, and then picked up
Took a
the theft.
retaliation on 9/4, and then after that, so it's a third time he's out, and then he picks up another case.
These allegations, Judge, are from August of this year. There's 2 cases in this court.
Yes,
Let me see.
it was after the ag rob and before the retaliation.
All right, so the retaliation is September 3rd. Mischief is August 28th. That is August 8/28 as well.
So I found out I had one. Tell myself that.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So, officers get a call that a robbery has occurred.
Picture this: 2 men stroll into a store, smash the glass like it's a movie scene, and walk out with vapes and sodas. Not cash, not jewelry, vapes. Here's my question to you: is that gutsy, desperate, or just plain stupid? Let me know in the comments what you think.
Complainant stated to officers 2 defendants, later identified as Defendant Marshall and Defendant Ronald Waters, which was our other defendant from the other day, right? Remember Ronald Waters from yesterday? Hereinafter referred to as Waters and Marshall, walked into a store, destroyed a glass partition, which was $300 to replace, and walked out of the store with 3 vapes and other stuff, sodas and complainant stated both defendants walked in at the same time. Waters came up to the counter stating he wanted to purchase a t-shirt located behind the counter. While that was happening, Marshall attempted to come behind the counter, but the complainant was able to stop him. He reported that Marshall then came around to the front of the counter where Waters was, that he was distracted by Waters, who purchased a t-shirt, opened the packaged shirt, and seconds later wanted a refund, which he gave him the refund. Complainant reported that as that was happening, Marshall used his hands to mess with the glass partition, heard the glass breaking, grabbed 3 vape pens, other things, and ran out the store without any attempt to pay. Complainant states that he knows both defendants by sight and can identify them from priors. So while being out on all that, on the aggravated robbery, in that one, what do we have? Did he hold someone up?
Aggro.
Yeah, let's see how dangerous Mr. Marshall really is. Allegedly.
So the complaining witness was a delivery man for Domino's. I believe he made a delivery to the co-defendant in that case. The complaining witness said he felt something wasn't right and told the co-defendant to just pay him half so he could leave. The co-defendant pulled out a handgun, pointed it at the complaining witness, and demanded the pizza. The complaining witness noticed this defendant by his vehicle at that point and observed defendant Marshall open his front passenger door, reach in and steal a fanny pack that held his cell phone. So this defendant
Part of
was,
the offense. He's not the one with the actual.
he was not the one pointing the gun, yes, Judge.
The complainant began to feel that something was not right and offered to accept half the amount due for the pizza just so that he could leave the location. White then pulled out a firearm, pointed at the complainant, and demanded the pizza. White told complainant that he had 5 seconds to give him everything he had and began to count out loud. Do you know how scary that is to have someone hold a gun at you? Tell them you have 5 seconds to give them everything, or else.
5 seconds. That's all. Imagine standing there, a gun pointed at your face, someone counting down your last breaths. 1, 2, 3. Do you run? Do you fight? Or do you freeze? This is not just a robbery anymore, it's psychological torture, and the law does not take that lightly.
That is really terrifying and can cause people to have nightmares, all kinds of psychological issues. God. When defendant White reached his 5-second countdown, the complainant stated that he saw defendant White attempting to pull the trigger and could hear a clicking sound. It was at that moment the complainant was fearing for his life. He attempted to push defendant White's pistol away from his face and was able to retrieve his own firearm, namely a pistol. Complainant feared for his life and discharged the pistol at defendant White. Oh, the complainant shot and killed defendant White, who died at the scene. Complainant stated the defendant Marshall ran off with his property and the complainant drove to a safe location before calling the police. This is Houston. I will do everything in my power to protect our city. And I want you to understand that. And that person is now gone. For a pizza, his life is now gone. How well did you know this person?
He's 21.
Now, how well was he a good friend of yours?
Someone I knew in the apartments.
I'm going to make each of your bonds $3,500. Mr. Marshall, I want you to understand that if you are able to make bond, I'm putting a
The judge is not just talking to Marshall. Here he's sending a message to every defendant who steps in his courtroom. One life, one chance, and when it's gone, that's it. Courtrooms are where second chances run out. What do you think should repeat offenders like him keep getting bail, or is it time the system gets tougher? Drop your thoughts below.
whole host of conditions on you.
So I will understand.
Don't be a danger to our city. You have but one life. Stop. You have but one life. You know, when it's gone forever. And it's so very, very short. So, heed the advice, because I'm not giving you any more warnings. Do you understand? Okay. Thanks, Steve. Thank you.